Hello and welcome. Today we're doing a question from LeetCode, question 314, binary tree vertical order traversal. This is a premium problem, so if you don't have access to it, that's what this video is for. We can also take a look at all the companies that this question is probably good for. I also keep updated playlists on my channel by company, so if you want to prepare for a particular interview, you can just do all the questions in that playlist. These are all picked out by LeetCode, not me. So let's actually get into this problem. Given the root of a binary tree, return the vertical order traversal of its nodes as values, i.e. from top to bottom, column by column. If two nodes are in the same row and column, the order should be from left to right. Example 1, this is our input binary tree, and our output is going to be a list of lists where all the nodes from the same column are going to be in the same list. So traversing this left to right, top to bottom, we have 9, then 3, 15, 20, and 7. Example 2, we do the same thing, 4, 9, 3. Now nodes 0 and 1 are in the same exact row and the same column. Remember, we want to go left to right, so we're going to do 3, 0, 1 for this list over here in this column, then 8, and then 7. And finally, example 3, we have 4, 2, 5, 1, 10, 9, 6, 3, and then 11. The output is a list of lists right over here. So how do we solve this? We know we want to go left to right, top to bottom, column by column. Let's break this down. Let's consider column by column first. We know we want to go column by column as we do left to right. So looking at example 3 over here, we started at our leftmost column and moved all the way down till we hit our rightmost column. So say we start off at our root node. If I go to the left, I'm at an earlier column. Then if I go back right, I'm back to my original column. If instead I went left again, I went to an even earlier column. So anytime we move left or right, we move to a different column. We move one column over. Meaning we could say that our root node is at column 0. And if I move right, I'm going to add 1 to that column count. So now I'm at column index 1. From here, if I go left, I'm going to subtract. So 1 minus 1 is going to be back to 0. This node over here is back to column 0. And this is how we can keep track of which nodes are part of which column. We'll simply have column indices. And we can store this in a dictionary where the keys are the column indices and the values are a list containing all the nodes part of that column index. So this covers our column by column traversal. What about top to bottom and left to right? Well, if we want to go top to bottom, we're in a tree data structure, so we're always going to start at a root and go down nodes. So by default, this is already covered either through BFS or DFS. Doesn't really matter which one we use. In our case, let's use a BFS approach. Now with the BFS, we're just going to go down level by level. So every single new node we come across is going to be lower than all the nodes before it. So every new node we come across can just go to the end of that column list we're keeping. And that way we maintain that top to bottom traversal. If this is kind of sort of making sense and you want to try it out, I have the problem linked down below. Go check it out. If not, you're going to see that this is actually very simple once we go through the code and do a complete walkthrough. Okay, to code this up, I'm going to be using this example as we go through it so we can see exactly what our code is doing and why it works. We know in the beginning we want to keep a dictionary storing all the column indices, and that value is going to be a list storing all the nodes of that column index. So we can have a dictionary, so columns is going to be a default dict of a list, which means by default, every key is just going to get a list value. Now, before actually even going into this, we want to get rid of some edge cases. So if root is none, if we have nothing in our input, we just want to return. And what do we want to return? We know we want to return a list of lists. So if our root is none, we can just return the empty list. We have our dictionary of all the columns. What's next? Now it's just a basic BFS. We've done this many times before, so we already know how to do it. Anytime we want to do a BFS on a tree, we want to start off with a queue. So queue is going to have a DQ, and it's going to take in our root node. So it's going to be a list, and we're actually going to make this a tuple where we're going to pass in the root itself and also the column index, because remember, that's something we want to keep track of. So we're going to start off at column 0. So just writing this down over here, we're going to have a tuple where we have our node and our column index. Now, with the BFS, we just keep going until we no longer have elements in our queue. So while we still have elements, we're going to go inside this while loop. what do we want to do? We just want to pop off from our queue. Right now, what do we have? We have this example tree over here, and we have a queue that contains node 4, index 0. I'm also writing the column indices up here, so we always can keep track of that up here too. So while we still have elements in our queue, we want to remove the first element we see. So we're going to pop left, and we're going to store our node as well as the column index. So it's going to be node and column index with queue.pop left. And what do we do every time we get a node and column index? We just want to keep track of it. So we're going to add it to our columns dictionary. So columns at this column index over here. So columns index, we're just going to append our node's value. So append node.val. It's going to go to the end of our list. This way we always go top to bottom. Now our columns dictionary, let's draw that out too. So we have column index 0, and it has a list where our current node's value has been added. So it's going to have 4. Now all we want to do is repeat the same process for our node's children. So if we have a left and right child, we're going to do the same thing and just add it to the queue so it can be processed and added to our dictionary. So if node.left, if we do have a left child at all, in this case we do, we just want to add to our queue. So queue.append, and we want to append a tuple. So it's going to be our node.left, the actual node, as well as the column index. Now remember, if we are dealing with the left child, we're moving 1 to the left. And so we want to subtract 1 from our column index, which means it's going to be column index minus 1. And the exact opposite if we have a right child. So if node.right, queue.append node.right, and column index plus 1. We're moving up a column. So where are we right now? Remember, our node was 4. We had popped from our queue, and our column index was 0. Going in these lines of code, if node.left, that's true. Our current node does have a left child. So we're going to append to our queue node.left, comma, column index minus 1. So our queue is going to get node 3 and index minus 1. Now we make a check if node.right. That's also true. 4 does have a right child. So we're going to append to our queue that right child and column index plus 1. Meaning our queue is going to get node 7 and index 1. And now we just repeat the process. So all we do is go back in our while loop. The queue is not empty, and we just process our nodes. So while queue, we pop left from our queue, which means node and column index are going to be 3 and negative 1 respectively, which means we're processing this element over here. This is our queue and our node column indices. We just add to our columns dictionary column index of negative 1 and the value we have, so 3. Key of negative 1 is going to get value 3 appended to the end of it. Now we make a check if node.left, 3 doesn't have a left child, and we go in this if node.right. That's true, 3 does have a right child, so we're going to append to our queue node.right, column index plus 1. So what's the right child of 3? That's 1. And what's column index plus 1? Well, that's minus 1 plus 1, which puts us back to 0. So it's going to be 1, 0 that goes in our queue. We go back in our while loop, the queue is not empty, and we pop left. So we get this tuple over here, meaning node is 7 and column index is 1. We add that to our columns dictionary. So 1 is going to get the value of 7. We make a check if node.left, that's true, 7 does have a left child. To our queue, we're going to append that left child and column index minus 1. So we're going to append over here our left child of 6 and column index, which is 1, minus 1, which is 0. We go back in our while loop, node and column index are going to equal 1, 0. We want to add this to our column index of 0. We want to append our current node's value. So to 0, we're just going to append 1. And you can actually start seeing how this list is building out, right? We're going top to bottom, and we're going left to right because we're going to process this node first and then go to this node, because this node over here is next in our list. So now that we've added this to our columns dictionary, we make the same check if node.left. It's not true, it doesn't exist. So if node.right, also not true, doesn't exist. We exit and we just go back in our queue. So we pop off from queue, node, and column index are going to be 6, 0. And to our columns dictionary, we are going to append our value. So we're adding 6 to the end over here. Now we make a check if node.left, not true. If node.right, that is true. So to our queue, we are going to append node.right, which is 5, and our column index plus 1. So we go to column index 1. Going back in this queue one last time, we pop left again. So node is going to be 5 and column index is going to be 1. We simply append our node's value to our columns index. So to column index 1, we are appending 5. We see that there's no left child, there is also no right child, so we exit this while loop, and now we have our columns dictionary formed. We know exactly which node belongs in which column index, and it's sorted top to bottom, left to right. All we want to do is just return this by the order of the indices now. So we want to go left to right, meaning -1 to +1. One way to do this would be to just sort the keys of our dictionary, so this could be an n log n operation. But what if instead we just kept track of our min and max range that we need to iterate through? We know there's some bound, right? -1 to 1, maybe it was -2 to 10. We can actually keep track of this as we go down our loops. So what we can do is just initialize a min and max index. Min index and max index are going to be float infinity and float -infinity respectively. And this may seem counterintuitive. Why do we have the highest number in our min index and the lowest in our max index? But you're going to see that in just a second. So while we process our node and column index in our queue, we're going to see what that column index is. If it's smaller than our current minimum index, we're going to update min index, and vice versa. If it is greater than our max index, we update max index. So min index equals the min of what we have so far and our current column index. Max index is going to be the max of what we have so far and our current column index. If we start off with our min index being as high as possible, the very first index we come across is going to be our min index, because we do need to set it at some point, right? If we have it at -infinity, it can't get lower than that. So through this, we always just keep track of the min and max range we've seen in our indices. This way, we don't need to sort our dictionary keys. We can just have a for loop. So for column in range min index to max index +1, because this is not inclusive, we're just going to get the list we have at that index, and we're going to append it to some output array. So output is going to be an empty list. And what we want to do is append to our output. So output.append columns of our column index, meaning right now our min index is -1 and our max index is +1. This was just updated as we popped through all of our node and column index tuples, right? We'd have that updated over here. So we'd see the lowest index we'd come across was when we got 3, and the highest was when we got 7 over here, which was index 1. It was never updated after that. So now when we loop through, we're going to loop through from -1 to 2, because it's not inclusive. So we essentially just go from -1 to 1, and we're going to append it to our output array. So let's have output over here as well. What we get in our columns dictionary at that index. So right now, looping through, right? Column is going to start off at -1. What do we have in columns at -1? That's just the list of 3. So we're appending this list to our output, which means 3 is going in here. We go back in our for loop. Column is now index 0. We see what we have in columns at 0, this list over here, and we append this to our output. Going back in this for loop, we now are at index 1, and we see what we have in columns of 1, which is 7, 5. We append this to our output, and we can't go back in our loop because we don't go up to index 2, which means we're done and we have our output list completed, right? It's left to right, column by column, top to down. We have 3, 4, 1, 6, and 7, 5. All we need to do now is just return our output. So let's go ahead and submit this. Runtime error, default dict is not defined. There's some typo in here. Default, there should be a T. Let's go ahead and submit. And it is accepted. So we just did a complete walkthrough of our code with an example. This was just a simple BFS where we kept track of all the column indices by adding one or subtracting one, depending on whether we were dealing with a left child or a right child. Now, talking about space and time complexity for this, we are doing a complete traversal. We're going through every single node. So there's going to be O of n for time. And for space, we are storing all the values in an output as well as our queue. So this is also going to be O of n for space. If you have any questions with anything whatsoever, let me know down below in the comments. If this video was helpful, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really supports the channel. And as always, I will see you in the next one.